design thinking. Olympus is design thinking. It's the construction of its thinking as it stands is a consequence of design thinking. What it does is it provides the flame front for the future. Now, design in an architectural sense, in a product design sense, or in planning a city sense, or what have you, the thinking has to be beyond where we are always. That sounds banal, but it's a very important point. If I sit down as a designer and I try to create something, I automatically have to dial myself into the future, because it will take time to get there. Say if I design, not a pair of spectacles, but if I design a kettle or a vehicle, then I have to go, when will it arrive in society? What recalibration do I need to take care of to make sure that that arrives in an appropriate manner? This is the big difference between the immediacy of things like advertising or other forms of fast design, as I'd call it, or maybe graphic design, is that it's created, at the point of creation it is already relevant, it's reacting immediately to what's going on. But with this, we have to react to something that's going to happen. So there's a social responsibility component in it. And that is one of the most important things that Olympus can give to design. If you've ever done clay pigeon shooting, have you ever tried that?
I haven't tried, but I've seen it done.
If you watch the clay and then you point your gun at the clay and pull the trigger, you will miss.
You'll miss, yeah.
You'll miss because the shot arrives at a point where the clay was, not where it's going, where it is. Yeah. And so as designers we have to call what's called lead the clay. Yeah. Olympus leads the clay. It provides a cradle and a comprehension of where things are going to be, to allow to design to deliver within it. All designers, to one extent or another, are futurists. If you're like me and you design things that don't even arrive for 8 to 10 years in the future, I have to work in decades, then I have to be an optimistic futurist. And this is at the heart of Olympus. It is about looking at real world issues and finding the optimistic futurism in it. Not the pessimistic one, the optimistic one. This is not only for us, it's for our children, and it's our children's children. If I design a bad poster for hair gel, who's going to care? If I design a bad transportational infrastructure, and by the time it arrives in 8 or 10 years from now, I could have delivered 1 million devils to 1 million people every day. It's, design, real design, is about the responsibility of humanism, as I put it. So that it provides humanity to technology. But this is what we have to engender in the minds of designers for the future. It is about the future. I can't tell you how many times I've sat in a boardroom of expensively dressed individuals of some international corporation and realised that I was the only person in the room with an optimistic, futuristic head on, and that the rest of them were much more concerned with more immediate issues of where their pension was going to come from, which is fair enough. So the final point about how can design do this, Olympus needs to engender a new generation, a global generation of humanists. That's what it's got. That's its primary objective, to prepare the minds that are coming into the future to deal with and navigate and promulgate that future.